Okay, so this next graph is one that you've probably never created before. We're going to create a scatter plot. A scatter plot of the friendliness of the staff against the helpfulness of the staff. We want to find out if there's a correlation between how friendly somebody is and how helpful they are. Now we can't do this from this summarized data. We need to go back to the main body of data that we've now hidden in a group. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up that group that's hidden above here. And if you can remember, if you click on this wee plus sign, it will open up that group of data. There you go. And there's that information there. So I've opened up all that data that we had hidden in that group earlier on. And this is a good reason for using groups. It means we can very easily hide and unhide the data. So we can't create the graph we're about to create just using the summary down here. We need to actually get access to all this data. We've done that. So let's crack on. We want to create a graph of the friendliness of staff against the helpfulness of the staff. So I'm going to select all that data. Okay, I've selected the titles, friendliness and helpfulness, and I've selected the data that goes with them as well. And as you'd expect, I'm going to insert a graph. Insert, and this time we want to select this one. This is a scatter graph. If we click on it, there's a couple of different options, but again I'm just going to go for the first one because it tends to be easier. And there we go, we have a very simple scatter graph, or a scatter plot. Now, to explain what this does, this looks for correlations and patterns between these two different data sets. Now, the friendliness, which is in column O here, okay, that is plotted along the x-axis, along here. And the helpfulness is plotted up the y-axis. And what this graph looks for is looks for patterns to see how things correlate, how things compare to each other. Now at the minute it looks like a fairly random scattering. There appears to be something of a pattern in here. We can see what that pattern is like if we click on the graph and then click on the plus, and we'll ask for the trend line. And there you go. We can see what we know is called a positive correlation, where friendliness along the x-axis is going up, the numbers are getting higher, then helpfulness is also going up. And that makes sense. The friendlier somebody is, the more helpful they're likely to be. So this graph works. This graph kind of shows us what we expected to see, and it shows this positive correlation between friendliness of staff and the helpfulness of staff. So let's put it onto its own sheet as we have done with all the other graphs, and let's give it something more of some labels which will make things a bit easier for people to understand. So first thing is, move the chart onto a new sheet, and we shall call this one, I think, friendliness versus helpfulness. There you go. So there's that graph on this sheet. And let's see what layouts we can have here, because we really would like to put some additional labeling and things in here so that we can see how it, that's not too bad, so we can start to add labels to make it make more sense. Now like we said, friendliness is along the bottom, and I can tell you that because whenever you select two columns of data, the column that is on the left side of the two goes along the bottom of the graph, and the column that is to the right side of the two goes up the y-axis. So I'm going to call these friendliness along the x-axis and helpfulness along the y-axis, or up the y-axis. Okay. Now we don't have a chart title, so let's see if we can add one. Let's do, and we'll just call it scatter plot comparing friendliness against helpfulness. Plut, there you go. Scatter plot comparing friendliness against helpfulness. And we can see that there is a positive correlation there. Now, this is a good thing. We'd expect that result. When people are friendly, they tend to be more helpful, and vice versa. It's not a very tight correlation. We have got a bit of scattering going on round about here. So that suggests it's not perfect, it's not a very, very tight correlation, but there is this positive correlation there. We can see that as one quality, friendliness, increases, so does helpfulness. So it's been successful, and it's proven to us that that is the case. That is the experience of people visiting this shop. They think the people who are helpful are also friendly. So there you go, that's a scatter plot. So I'll go back and show you that again, because in a few seconds you're just about to try that one for yourself. Let's go back to sheet 1. Now if you remember, the first thing I done was I had to reveal my hidden group. So there you go, I've just hidden it again. So to reveal your hidden group, what you need to do is go across and click on this plus sign here. That reveals all the data that we'd previously put into group and hidden. You're then going to select column O and column P, and you're going to select all the data in there. You're going to insert a scatter graph. Click the first one. Move it onto its own chart. I won't bother giving it a title, but you can. And then you are going to pick a layout which includes, let's think, I think I went for that one. No, I didn't. Well, maybe I did, I can't remember. But you're going to pick one that meets your needs. That's quite a nice one there, the first one. Okay, and you're going to give it a suitable axis title on the vertical axis. Now remember, that will be whatever the title of the right hand column of data was, and your x-axis on the bottom here will be the title of whatever the left hand column of data was. And then give it a title just to explain what the graph's all about. And to show the trend line, click the plus sign and click on trend line. And there you go. That's how to create and insert a scatter plot into your spreadsheet. Pause the video and have a go at that now.